Hi, I'm Jason Korsner. I'm a children's author and I've written A Zoo in My Shoe, I Like to Put Food in My Welly, and What Can You See? And I realised that I've got videos of me reading the entirety of What Can You See and I Like to Put Food in My Welly, but I don't have any videos yet of me reading the whole of A Zoo in My Shoe. And I thought, what better time to do it than, can you read this aloud? World Read Aloud Day. Yes, so I thought for World Read Aloud Day, I would read you A Zoo in My Shoe. Okay, so it's a nice simple rhyming book for primary school children, probably infants, a little bit into juniors, and it's all about having fun with language. And that's why in particular, reading it out aloud is exactly what it was designed for. This is not the kind of book that you want to sit there at night just reading on your own. You want to be reading it with your grown-ups or with your children and just having a lot of fun when you hear the way the words rhyme and you see the things that are happening. So we're going to start off, and you'll see how the book works, by saying, lots of wild animals live in the zoo. Before a long trip, you should sit on the loo. My feet are so long, they poke out of my shoe. All perfectly normal things that you might say in the everyday course of your life. But if you get your words mixed up, it might come out as, lots of wild animals live in the loo. Before a long trip, you should sit on my shoe, and my feet are so long, they poke out of the zoo. And if you get yourself mixed up again, it might come out as, lots of wild animals live in my shoe. Before a long trip, you should sit on the zoo, and my feet are so long, they poke out of the loo. I've got my own little zoo in a shoe here. Not my shoe, as you can probably imagine. My feet wouldn't fit in that. But this comes with me on all my readings. So if you want to come and see me doing a reading, you will get to meet this mini little giraffe and monkey in this little shoe. Anyway, we're going to go on to our next scenario now. And this bit is about a tiger. And as we start off, we say the tiger sleeps on the top of the ridge. The walrus can swim all the way to the bridge. And the food for the python is kept in the fridge. All perfectly normal. I've even got a python, actually. Look, there you go. He comes with me too. Now, if you get yourself a bit mixed up, you might end up saying, the tiger sleeps on top of the bridge. The walrus can swim all the way to the fridge. And the food for the python is kept on the ridge. And if you're still getting yourself a bit mixed up, you don't know what you're saying, you might end up saying the tiger sleeps on top of the fridge, the walrus can swim all the way to the ridge, and the food for the python is kept on the bridge. Look at that, causing a traffic jam. Beep, beep. Lovely illustrations here from the crazy Max Lowe. Ah, look at this one here, giraffe. And this is a true story, this. Giraffe is so tall, you can't see her nose. I could tilt the camera, but then you wouldn't be able to see her toes, but don't want to jump ahead and spoil the fun for you. If you dance with a chimp, it'll step on your toes, and the loveliest scent is the smell of a rose. But if you get yourself a bit mixed up, you might end up saying, the giraffe is so tall you can't see her toes. Kind of predicted that one, didn't we? If you dance with a chimp, it'll step on your rose, and the loveliest scent is the smell of your nose. Bit strange, but it gets even more strange. Because if we mix it up again, we say the giraffe is so tall you can't see her rose. If you dance with a chimp, it'll step on your nose, and the loveliest scent is the smell of your toes. Ooh. I tell you, the lovely scent is not the smell of my toes. Next, we're going to visit some penguins, because the penguins like to slide on the ice. And the zoo has a cat. There we go. The zoo has a cat to catch all the mice. And the cafe serves curry with naan bread and rice. All perfectly normal for a zoo and indeed a cafe. But if you get yourself mixed up, you might say the penguins like to slide on the mice, the zoo has a cat to catch all the rice, and the cafe serves curry with naan bread and ice. Doesn't sound so tasty, does it? But if we get ourselves mixed up again, we might say the penguins like to slide on the rice, the zoo has a cat to catch all the ice, and the cafe serves curry with naan bread and mice. Oh, that does not sound tasty. So next it's on to visit the sea lion, where the happy sea lion claps his flippers. At night, I like to wear my slippers, and for breakfast, I love eggs with kippers. But if we get ourselves a bit mixed up, you might say the happy sea lion claps his slippers At night, I like to wear my kippers. And for breakfast, I have eggs with flippers. I don't think so. But if we get mixed up again, we might say, the happy sea lion claps his kippers. At night, I like to wear my flippers. And for breakfast, I love eggs with slippers. Tasty. This is one of my favourite chapters, this one. This is about the lemurs you might find at the zoo or in my local park, in fact. Now, the lemurs play games in the shade of the trees. The wolf wags his tail to get rid of his fleas. And the pizza is covered with 4 types of cheese. That's called a quattro formaggio, I think. I don't know how good my Italian is, but it's something like that. But if we get ourselves mixed up and check out these pictures, you might say, the lemurs play games in the shade of the fleas. The wolf wags his tail to get rid of his cheese. And the pizza is covered with 4 types of trees. Doesn't sound so appetizing, does it? But it gets worse, because you could say, the lemurs play games in the shade of the cheese, the wolf wags his tail to get rid of his trees, and the pizza is covered with 4 types of fleas. Ooh, not the tastiest pizza. Now, what do we know about leopards? We know that leopards like trying to change their spots. And baby koalas sleep in cots, while dolphins eat fish thrown from yachts. But if we get ourselves a bit mixed up, we might say the leopard's trying to change his cots, the baby koalas sleep in yachts, and the dolphins eat fish thrown from spots. And if we still get ourselves mixed up even more, we might say the leopard's trying to change his yachts, the baby koalas sleep in spots, nice little sleeping bags there, spot-shaped, and the dolphins eat fish thrown from cots. Yeah, they might be waiting a while. Now, the last little visit on our trip to the zoo here is to the elephant. Nice little elephant who also comes with me on most of my readings. And the elephant cooled down by spraying some water. The stick insect's trying to find her daughter. And where a panda has cubs, you'll find a reporter. True story, that, because every news bulletin likes to have stories about cuddly animals at the end, you might have noticed. But if you get yourself mixed up, you might say, the elephant cools down by spraying her daughter. The stick insect's trying to find a reporter, and where a panda has cubs, you'll find some water. And the final page, as we get ourselves mixed up just once more, the elephant cools down by spraying a reporter. The stick insect's trying to find some water, and where a panda has cubs, you'll find your daughter. Because you might find your daughter has gone to see the baby cub. And that is what happens when you have a zoo in your shoe, coming from my weird mind and the lovely illustrations of the wonderful Max Lowe. So there you go. This book is available anywhere that you get your books. But the most important thing is, if you get it from your library, from your bookshop, from your school library, you have to read it aloud. Not just on World Read Aloud Day, but hopefully this has given me an opportunity to show you how much fun it can be to read aloud. Enjoy.